Alrighty, welcome into another Final Fantasy XIV roll quest video. This time I'm on Weaver. I don't even know what these ones are called. So, here's the Weaver quest right now. But, we have Pamika, who's staring at me for some reason. Very warm welcome to you, artisan from afar. Cast fire, was it? And not big on her model. Stand before Epistles by Pamika, and I am Pamika herself. Charmed though I am by your interest in my shop, I would like to confirm one matter. Tell me, can you read? Can I read? Listen, lady, I've been reading these freaking dialogues for days now, so I can read. I live for literature, of course. Writing, on the other hand, Tural script, I doubt it. This is the more accurate version for me, so we're going with that one. And if you've been listening to any of my videos, well, maybe I can't read as well either. I see. You needn't worry. My question was one of personal interest and has nothing to bear with the work I offer. We of Tural speak Turali with a plomb. Yeah. See, I can't read. Yet it is comparably young language, as our traditional tongues place emphasis on oral storytelling over the written word. We have a sizable population of citizens who do not read or write. My services cater primarily to this clientele. I offer a writing hand when occasion demands, mostly for penning letters or official documents. However, I've just recently received a commission for something larger and a book of stories. These are tales which have never before been committed to text. The documentation of oral storytelling, a most riveting prospect, is it not? And it's not. I don't want to do stories. I don't want to write a book. I don't want to craft a book either. Alas, I find myself ill-prepared. When I possess paper required for simpler documents, I have no experience in binding tomes. Oh, we're going to be making books. Yet, with the skill of an adept weaver at hand, I could accept this task with my head held high. What say you, traveler? Will you help me tie these tales together? Fear not. I'll cover you. Much obliged. Then report to our client and officially accept his request. His name is Zimowini, and he works at FFXIV, the restaurant by the beach. I'll need a moment to close up shop, so you go ahead and wait for me. You got it, lady. Oh my gosh, there was a big naked Rogadin standing on top of me. That is terrible. The man has no respect for my personal space. Must be because I'm so short. I barely came up to his waist. Alright, where's this quest at? Alright, weirdo dude. I think you're dude. Nope, you're a lady. Ah, Pamika, welcome. Good morning, Zimowini. I am pleased to say that we are ready to undertake your commission. Why is everyone looking at me like that? Chaos Fire here will be binding your books, and my intuition tells me that none would be better suited to the endeavor. That's excellent news. The more the merrier. But where are my manners? My name is Ziwawini. We already knew that because our other friend here told us. I'm relatively new to Tural, but I've been earning my keep as a waiter here since I arrived. Are you writing the stories down? Zabab Tai is a haven for travelers from every region. There's one thing I've learned in my short time here, is that everyone's got a story to tell. From myths and legends to folktales and anecdotes, our patrons share their nigh endless supply of unique and fascinating tales. Inevitably, one regular or another will badger me into retelling an old favorite, so I try to memorize as many stories as are told. But memory has its limits, and I'm afraid the details from so many different narratives may eventually become jumbled or forgotten, which is why I thought to record them in a book for all to enjoy. Of course, my people pass down our traditions via spoken word, so I neither read nor write. Pamaka has been an exception among Tonawada in that respect. Zemaweni will tell his stories. I will transcribe his words. Oh, it is a dude. He's got a very feminine... Like, when you look at the two of them, he's got very feminine features. No different than the dictation of a letter, except perhaps a bit longer. I'm not writing any books for you, lady. I also thought I might study my letters, while you both work hard at work. While you're both hard at work. Yeah, reading is not my forte. I'd like to be able to read the books we make, after all. You should join us during transcription, if you'd like. Hearing each story might serve as an inspiration for its binding. They're fascinating stories, all. I can't wait to see them as books. You got me, dude. I gotcha. Well then, when would you like to begin? My schedule is relatively open right now, so I'm available whenever you please. Then I'll pay your stall a visit once I'm finished with my shift. It shouldn't be too long now. See, the other thing is with that, is like, with the, what's her name? You can't see her chest. It's well hidden among that outfit. So, it does, make things harder to know if they're male or female, or... Just saying. you need an outfit like our Fem Hrothgar over here, where you definitely know it's a female. We'll have our transcription session here. I have readied plenty of parchment and ink, so you needn't worry about that. However, there's still a few more preparations to be made before Zemawena's arrival, and your own business may call for you elsewhere in the meantime. Stop by again when you're ready to begin. Epistles by Pamaka. Speak with Pamaka to learn more. You seem eager to start, and I'll admit so am I. According to my research, we'll require numerous components: boards, covers, woven cords, the list goes on. Furthermore, a binding can be made of nearly anything: wood, cloth, leather. Possibilities are endless. I'll leave the particulars to you and your artistic taste. Once you have enough materials prepared, we will be ready to document Zemawene's tales. Yeah. So now, when I go over here in my crafting log, if I go down here to the watch, see I've got all the watch stuff here on my list. If I go out to leatherworker, the same thing will exist here. Now the watch is available there on leatherworker. And finally my carpenter. Same thing there. So that's kind of how you know who's grouped where. Is you'll look at that and you'll see their list of items and you'll know which one's there. How goes the crafting cast fire? So the first thing is we need to do handcrafted cover components. Material list. my gosh, it's a good thing I have a freaking butt ton of gemstones. So, if you're unfamiliar, I'm going to go to Razahan for this. The Affinitros hide. It's not the easy, like, so it's a animal drop, and animal drops are really rough. But if you, depending on where the fate is, or where the gemstone trader that has it, or if you max out your fates for all your zones, you can get these traders here at the major cities. And then you go down to them and we can get the Affinitros hide. I believe that this is, let's see, Gaja, Luncheon, Saga, Kumbara. Yeah. So this is available, like Affinitroses are in Elpis. So either you go to Elpis and you kill a whole bunch of Affinitros until you get, 24 hides, or you come to a gemstone trader. You're going to use these bicolor gemstones and purchase them much faster. That is the better method of getting, especially leatherworking items. Leatherworking items, like a lot of the items that are leather based, or any of your crafting and gathering, any of your crafting for your leatherworker crafting, you actually have to go have some of it you can buy, some of you can buy on the market board. The other thing is, or else you have to find a retailer that has it. Those are your kind of options when it comes to a lot of leather. The gemstones is a really good option. One, it does like here with what I said with the shared fates. So here, this was Endwalker's zones. You just max out, so rank 3 at all of them. You get all the, so you're gonna get all the little circle checks, and then you get all the little things covered. As you can see, I started working here. I'm rank 2, rank 1, and I'm just slowly working through these for the zones I'm working on. But you don't want to go there. I'm gonna go to Raytara. But yeah, so that those ways you can pick up those at, you can purchase those from a gemstone trader. You just gotta kind of learn what's you can pick up from gemstone and what you can pick up from what you can gather. A lot of times, like with the leather, you would just, if you're just not sure, you can do it the same method. So I go here, finish our side. If I search for gathering method, it doesn't come up with anything. Nothing's going to come up for that item because it's not a gatherable item in the traditional sense. You can't use a gatherer to acquire it. So when it's something like that, sometimes I will go to a gemstone trader, check and see if it's there. Sometimes you've got to go to like different vendor. You'd have to find a vendor that has it, or you'd have to trade it for company seals. Kind of what your options are when it comes down to that kind of stuff. That aren't gatherable. But like I said, like I was showing you, you can still use the same method to identify, if it's a gatherable item or not. Because if it's not, if it is a gatherable item, you don't want to waste your time running around trying to kill, like, say the Starshell Dragon dropped a, I think he drops a Dynamis crystal anyway, but he drops Dynamis crystals, or you can go to the gemstone trader, do a couple fates, earn some gemstones, and just kind of do it that way. That's my preferred method. And especially if you're kind of in new areas, you can go, you know, and you need your fates done anyway. Along with doing your fates, you know, you have this weekly challenge log, which you do 10 fates, complete with the highest rating possible. Gets you a little extra XP, a little extra gil, so you know, it does have its benefits. And honestly, one of the achievements I'm actually working for is it's almost done. This will come up. It's right here. There are achievements for doing fates as well. So you know, but when it comes to crafting and gathering, it can save you time and gil in the same process, because who's this one? Because instead of just having a, you know, a running around and killing enemies, which I have done to craft stuff, just sat there, ran in circles, slaughter an enemy, wait for him to respawn, run in circles, shoot the enemies, wait for him to respawn. I have done that, and it is painful, I'll tell you, because you never know if an enemy is going to drop the item that you need or if they're not going to drop it. So you don't know the odds of hitting what you're looking for. What the odds are. Okay, so I need to do leatherworker. Crafting method. Which synth? You don't. So the odds are very, and one enemy could drop one Alfinistros hide, and the other enemy could drop 4 to 5, and so you never know how many hides you're going to get from something. So you never know how long, you know, just killing enemies to get 24 Alfinistros hides is going to take. The other two are still on this list. There's a log right there. They are built, which is what. Development out. Okay. So it can, I mean, doing these, if you're doing it, if you're gathering your materials for doing these, you know, you got to kind of know how to acquire what materials you need to acquire. Otherwise, you know, and when it comes to bicolor gemstones, if you haven't maxed out your areas, and say the Tural vendor isn't the gemstone vendor isn't available to you yet, then what you run into problem-wise is the fact that you have to know which region's vendor is going to provide it. You have to go to the Pelu Pelu, you got to go to the Hanu Hanu, you're going to have to go, you know, where do you have to go to pick it up on the bicolor gemstones as well? So those are other things that you have to consider as well if you're using bicolor gemstone process. I had one out of all that. Oh, and the other thing about collectibles is you can't use quick synthesis either. At least I don't think you can. Every time I tried it, it failed. That's why I use macros. So like here I can go quicksynth, quinsynth. So anything collectible is not quicksynthable. It's just the way that it's configured. And depending on what you're crafting anyway, like this one I don't care about quicksynth because I know I'm hitting. I have a very good guess that I'm going to hit my green, my 4320, collectability of 432. I'm going to hit that number without having to worry. There could be a point where later on the 100s where I don't know that same outcome. You have to test your macro, or you have to go on interwebs and look for new macros, and you do it that way. Is basically what process you'd have to utilize. To actually get to knowing, what is available to you, what's not available to you at the time. And I always have a sound effect at the end of my macros so that I know when it completes itself. I have had points where I was running a macro, didn't wait for it to finish out, start the next craft, and since it's still in the process, it would like push your progress all of a sudden to full, and you mess up your craft. And that is a possibility for something that you could have happen to you. So you got to be careful with some of your crafting and gathering and stuff. I've burned through so many leaves recently that I am down to 0 again. Like I was burning through leaves when I was doing that the relic for my dragoon. I was burning through a lot, getting them down, and then I didn't have like a whole bunch for this. And to level my crafters and gatherers, actually to get them up, fastest way is either to do collectibles or to do leave quests. And I have been using the leave quest method right now, or well, just crafting in general and leave quests. Is my method that I've been utilizing. My word, I knew you were an accomplished weaver, but your craftsmanship has surpassed every expectation. The finished project will be a sight to behold. Once again, we're gaining Pamika's trust. You'll always get that dialogue there when you initiate all your role quests. Hey look, it's Weirdo Dude. You stole my hair color. His color hair is almost the same as mine. Now then, whenever we're ready, Zemoweni, Whenever you're ready, Zemoweni, we may begin. I think I'll start with a famous tale that has been passed down across generations of Hanu Hanu. I don't want to listen to your story, dude. It is a tale of their benevolent god and the crop that would enrich their very way of life. She didn't write anything new down on that piece of paper. She covered the same page over and over again. Long, long ago, the Hanu resided in a land beyond the clouds. Though their heavenly home was frigid, their enemies were few, and they whiled away their days dancing in the pale warmth of the sun. But one day, a great storm ravaged these clear blue skies. That's Cloud Top from Heaven's Word. The winds and rains ravaged the land upon those lands so fiercely it sent a pair of Hanu tumbling down to the waters below. Yet what should appear but a giant bird, as big as an island, it flew up and caught the Hanu on its back. And then it just threw them in the marshes. The kindly bird, sailed upon the winds over the great blue ocean until finally came to a land kissed by dawn, the land we call Tural. The couple was grateful to stand upon solid ground again, but their journey had exhausted them and their energies were spent. They searched high and low for something to fill their bellies, and it was there that they found the great bird once again feasting upon verdant reeds. Ugh. The Hanu followed suit. One taste of the sweet reeds filled them with vigor, and their feathers began to glisten with every color of the rainbow. It was then that the couple knew this great bird to be the god FFXIV. They tended the reeds in its honor, and their brood would grow strong and prosper because becoming the Hanu we know today. What do you think so far, KSR? Have you any inspiration for a suitable cover? Dude, I've been to Cloud Top. I know the Vanus. Splendid. I suspect Zemoweni will have a few more Hanu stories to tell before we conclude then. We ought to construct our cover in the meantime. With your painstakingly prepared materials, produce a cover befitting Zemowini's first batch of tales. Carefully bind Pamika's pages into the fold, and the tome is complete. I don't see anything on the cover. It's just red. It's a real book. I may not be able to read it yet, but looking at it fills me with joy. Books are remarkable things indeed. Stories told in speech alone will disappear with their tellers, but what is written is promised to survive. But that's my own romanticism showing through. More importantly, I greatly enjoyed your storytelling, Zemowini. I'm glad I could learn more about Hanu mythology. The god's name was FFXIV, correct? If I'm not mistaken, the Landsguard crest also depicts a great avian creature. Perhaps it has some relation. If you enjoyed those tales, I have plenty more like them. For example, the ones I heard the other day from a Pelu patron were fascinating. Theirs is a people with a talent for words. I'll have to practice ahead of time if I'm to do them any justice. Please do. We'll be happy to hear them whenever you feel ready. Can't believe this dude's trying to steal my hair color. And so ends our first job. You were a pleasure to work with, Chaosfire, and I have a feeling you'll continue to impress. She now considers you a cover collaborator. '93. Greetings, Chaosfire. If you're ready to proceed with our next cover, I have an idea I'd like to share. Zamaweni said he had Pelu tales to tell us next, correct? In which case, I thought using materials sourced from the Pelu's ancestral home, your Kapacha, might give our cover an authentic touch. A book about any given people should look at home amongst them, or so I think. Then it's settled. I trust you'll know where... I trust you'll know just where local materials... what local materials we need. Or, if you're me, just can't read. Okay, so we're going to crafting log, Pelu cover components. Material list. So as you can see here, we have the hammerhead crocodile. Now, if I go to watching Pelu, I mean, we need some of these other stuff too. I don't know where SIBA logs are. Hopefully those are in an area that I've been to. Okay, good. So, I know where Snow Cotton is. So if I fly around here, that's Silver Lobu. I don't even remember where the hammerhead crocodile is. I don't even know if he's here in this region. No, he's in Hanu, I think. But before I do that, let's grab our... So, and this is knowing where certain things can be. So we'll grab our Snow Cotton. Seven more, which would make 20 of these. I gotta do one more node. So, okay, so, it's just 2 pop out. Nope, I got 3. Actually, let's see if I can get to 25. Good. Well, because I know that those work in 5s. I've made a whole ton of that cloth. A whole ton. And when I say a whole ton, I really mean a whole ton because I did them for lead quests. Okay, so here's the thing. So you come down here to this guy's gemstone trader. All right, independent merchant, alpaca keep, gemstone trader. So I feel like I got the alpaca fillet, pineapple, and silver lobo hide. So therefore, I know that in this region, I wouldn't have been able to get the hammerhead crocodile. So if I go here, I'm going to go to Akanu, where I know the next gemstone trader is. And you got to kind of learn where the gemstone traders are. You can always just bring up the map. So you can bring up the map and you can, change your location. So if you go to Yoctel, I can see the gemstone trader right there. I knew he had the gemstone trader here because I've worked with this gemstone trader before. Getting a writing map. If I come down here, we have Swank Monk Thigh, and then we have Hammerhead Crocodile Skin. So I can purchase them all here, which is much easier sometimes. Then I'm trying to think of where the Hammerhead Crocodile is. Or I could have just gone and... I think it's over here somewhere. But I still have to also make the, I have to get the lumber as well, which is over here anyway, so. So as you can see, I have 2 on this one, so if I hit this guy, now I have a, the only reason that you do that, even if you didn't need it, would just to have the collectible. There are crafting and gathering achievements for, you know, collecting a certain number of items as well, so. And that one I had a 90% chance of getting an item, and I did fail one, so. The bad thing is, like, it's saying, like, an enemy. And I wish Final Fantasy had this better in game to where you could identify enemy locations on the map, like you can with crafting and gathering gear items. Short. So as you can see here, the purple, those are fates. If you've been in any of my streams, especially here, I've gone after a whole bunch of fates. So I've done a bunch of fates. That's where I get my bicolor gemstones from. And so, yeah. I just have to find the 3rd node for trees. Each set, each grouping, you have, when it comes to gathering, you have nodes of, you'll have 2 nodes and a total of 3 in a full rotation, in a full run of trees. So you'd have the 2 here. I don't know what the what this one is, because I haven't done it yet. So it's 5 to 1. So I could sell my excess lumber if I wanted to, or I could, gosh. What I'm probably going to end up doing is just going and so I'll make the logs, and the logs sell better than the lumber. The raw material, you know. But yeah, so like I was saying with the crocodiles, you've got to know where those dang crocodiles are, because here's a mata, and this would be like something that you'd probably end up looking up online, because it doesn't tell you where the crocodiles are located. And I wish they had a way in game to actually identify where crocodiles are located. You know, I mean, I'm spending bicolor gemstones because I have a whole ton of them, and I'm making a bunch of them through leveling and stuff. But, you know, if you didn't know where they were located, you'd kind of be doing this all over the map. Oh, that's an Orobon. Oh, those are Orobons. So that's not a crocodile, that's not a crocodile. You know, you'd just be spending a whole lot of time flying around the map looking for crocodiles. And, I mean, that's just kind of a waste. So I wish they had a way for you to actually identify where at the base level for crocodiles. All right, so here's our hammerhead crocodile. So we're way over here. If I didn't know where this guy was originally, and I'll pull out a last second kill him. And so as you can see on my thing, it says I got 2 hammerhead crocodile skins. So if I go here in my inventory, I've got 26 total. I would have brought up my chat where it also pops up in, but I have all sorts of other stuff going. There's a whole bunch of other stuff being yelled at in my chat right now, so I'd have to turn off all sorts of stuff to make that go away. But yeah, so that's kind of the downfall. So that one was 2. If I went and grabbed another crocodile, I don't know if I would get the same 2 or if I would get a different amount out of it, you know. And that's kind of where, you know, where you kind of sit with some things, is that you don't know how much of what you're going to get out of an individual there. So there's an example there. I got 2, you know. If you figure that out, if every time I'm getting 2, that's 12 crocodiles, right? But there's no guarantee that every time I'll get 2. Sometimes I'll get 0. You know, the numbers will vary every time, so there's no way of knowing, unlike with the gathering node, where I'll always get... I had the opportunity to at least 1 item or more. Is the way that, you know, when that comes down, that finish off the node, but so when it comes down to that, but so yeah, and I've lost some thought there. So if I'm gonna go here, yeah, crafting log. Come to my Pelu. Crafting method. It's not something I've crafted before, so I'm gonna, you know, make at least 1, and then I'll quicksynth. You do have there is a % chance in quicksynth to actually fill a craft if it's too high above your current level. And well, it's not just tied to your level, but it's also tied to a whole bunch of stuff. I got a challenge log entry for that one. So it's not just tied to your level itself. So this is level 92, but it's also tied to your gearing attributes, your craftsmanship and control. If these are too low for whatever, so if I come back here, see, but lumber says craftsmanship recommended 3485. If I was under 3485 and I wanted to do a quick synth, I would have an opportunity to actually fail the quick synth. So you want to be careful when you're doing your crafting and gatherings as well, because you could end up, you know, not having what you need for your craft. Let's see, I need a leather worker. Once again, never done this one before, so I have to once again do an initial one, and then I can do my quick synth process. And this is kind of, you know, kind of similar process continually through when you're working through like a lot of crafting and gathering. You can either just start at the top of the list and work through everything on the list. You could do it by material wise. So everything, like all the tops, all the accessories, you know, all your left and right side, require base materials. And so you could do a process where you just gather the basics for each person. So if I was to go here to the woodworking, go in here, I can go lumber. You know, you got to drop down here. These are accessories, these are tools, but you have the lumber option, and now I have 1, 2, 3 items that I can work on that are, these are base crafting items. And every one of them has them. So you have base crafting items for everything. Sometimes they might have 2. So like here on the goldsmith, I have stone and I have metal. So I have 2 different locations. I have 2 different items there that I could end it up with. And that one I'm pretty sure I have already on here. Snow cotton, I think it was. Yep. And so, yeah. So those are kind of things that you gotta kind of keep track of, keep monitoring. And there are ways to boost your craftsmanship skills. So I go back here to this one. This one actually says quick synthesis unavailable, craftsmanship 3587. If you don't meet that, it'll actually tell you 7 40 41. I don't think I meet. Craftsmanship 4183. Everything needs repair. This is another benefit of having your crafting and gatherers leveled. You can just do repair all your gear. Repaired gear has more durability. So if I was to go crafting log, like this guy, 4207, I don't meet the recommended craftsmanship. So the odds of me being able to finish that craft are lower. Than if I had, you know, been doing the craft myself. Of failing the craft at that point. And that is level 100, so there'd be level 100 gear that I could probably craft to bring up those numbers for me. And also then you'd also have crafting and gathering food, where you can bring your different stats up as well. So those are the ways. And then there's also on crafting, there's 3 elixirs that you can use. 1 for craftsmanship, 1 for control, and 1 for your CP, your crafting points, that can bring those up as well. So, but the best is to weigh, you know, so you always want to kind of target having at least the minimum requirement for the craft. And I don't remember if it tells you or not if you're, you know, if you're under the minimum requirement. Like, hey, you're under the minimum requirement. Sometimes it won't even let you craft if you're under the minimum requirement sometimes. So it kind of depends on the item most of the time. we will work our way through. In 6 of these, I have 3 done so far. This is the 4th one. And like I said, it's not always easy to know where, sometimes where you're at. So you look at your inventory, see how many, orange/red boxes you have down there. Will also help you out. If you craft the exact number of items you need, exactly, if you only need 6 of certain items, and you only have 6 of certain items, then you've got your crafted item. You've got the exact number that you need for you've already got your exact numbers, so you wouldn't for your collectibles. But there's been points where I needed lots and lots of one style of script, and so I would just be crafting 30, 40. I think I crafted like 50 or 60 collectibles once because I needed a whole ton of scripts. And when purple scripts are the top level script, and so I needed a whole ton of purple scripts to buy certain materials and stuff, because it was easier to buy the materials using scripts. And so I sat there and I crafted over and over and over again it's like 50, 60 different items. And at that point, you've got a long list of items in here that you're utilizing and stuff. And it's hard to know. In this one, where we're just crafting 6, we just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, and then stop there. Even if I've got enough extra items to continue the craft beyond there, since I've only required 6 for turn-in, I only want to make the 6 required for turn-in. There's only 2. There's 2 circumstances in which you are only running 6 of the item. One is the role quest here, and 2 is your I forgot what it's called. Your weekly turn-ins. Oh, so as you can see here, if I do this turn-in now, I won't be able to take all the scripts in. So I think there is a script vendor here. So the other one is custom deliveries. Those are the only 2 where you are limited on the number of house rules stipulate only serve those with prior approval. So I can't do script turn-in here, which is annoying. Is there someone else I can turn in scripts to? No. So either overcap, which I really not too... well, no, actually, I'll just overcap on them. I'm fine with that right now. I'll fix it for the next time. But... oh, your elegant use of snow cotton has not gone unnoticed. With it, your cover is bound to radiate Pelu Pelu spirit. Today, I'd like to share a few stories about the Pelu Pelu. These days, we know them to be avid travelers and seekers of profit, but this was not always so. Long before this nation was founded, the Pelu Pelu were reclusive folk who rarely left the solitude of Urkopacha. Hey, it's the same crap that you wrote down last time. She's not changing the story. Now, in one solitary village, there lived a Pelu named Chibli. The poor lad was sickly and short in stature, even compared to his diminutive fellows. With such a fair constitution, Chibli could neither work in the fields nor tend to the alpacas. But the village loved him even so, and he loved them in turn. They nursed him back to health in his times of need, and offered tasks which would not fatigue him. He only wished he could better serve them. Yet kindness cannot solve all ills, and in the year of the cold summer, crops withered upon the mountains of Urcopacha. The Pelu began to starve. Chibli became a trader. They ate what remained of their food. They ate all their fair livestock. Chibli knew that they had reached their limits and snuck quietly from the village. With one less mouth to feed, his people would have more to eat. Finally, he had found a way to help. With his mind made up, the poor Pelu made for the sacred mountain that he might fade from this world in its silence. He came across the bunny. As he began to climb, a spirit appeared and forbade him to go any further. Chibli begged the spirit to let him pass and spoke about his village. The spirit was moved by the lad's fervent resolve and bestowed upon him a handful of leaves. "Return to your village," it said. "Your people must drink of these leaves." Chibli obeyed and steeped the leaves in hot water. His people drank, their hunger miraculously faded. No Pelu succumbed to famine, and they all lived to see the coming year. So it was that the Pelu first encountered Mateti. Interesting. Now we have Book Pelu. Another impeccable book. Thank you, both of you. A peculiar story. Of course, there's no telling whether it actually happened, but mate tea is rich in nutrients, and it's effective in relieving hunger as well. To me, the moral seems to lie in the virtue of caring for one another, that even in times of great difficulty, keeping others in your heart can lead to unexpected solutions. Well, I better be off. I still have some reading and writing practice to do. But next time, I'll share some tales from our Moblin customers. See you then. Well, you heard the man. It seems we'll be in for plenty of entertainment yet. Keep your tools sharp. We'll have another project on our hands before we know it. Steam level increased. Beneficial binder. Still not sure what to call these ones. And that is the 90 and 93, I don't know, weaver, carpenter, leatherworker craft. We may call them the bookkeeping craft, but I'm not sure. But thanks for coming along on another one of these role quests. I've got 3 more crafting ones. One crafting, 2 gathering left. You'll definitely be seeing those videos as I work through them. And so I got some other role quests on the battle sides as well. So, but thanks for coming along. Don't forget to do the YouTubes, like, comment, subscribe, let me know how I'm doing. And we'll see you in the next one.